each and every one of you for joining us today and making the time to help us raise awareness about this last year's state Senate coup and the continued need for reform in Albany. This is an issue that many New Yorkers don't really want to know about, they don't care about, they don't pay attention to, but one that has a huge impact on the quality of our lives. I also want to extend a huge thank you to our co-sponsors for being a part of this event. Citizen Action of New York, Reboot New York, Queens County Young Democrats, the New Roosevelt Initiative, Greater NYC for Change, and Northwest Bronx for Change. We would not have been able to pull this together without your hard work, so thank you. And a huge, huge thank you to my co-organizer, Heather. She's the other one in the orange jumpsuit. And my friends, on the MYD team. Thank you so much. Is this really annoying?
No. Not as annoying as Pedro.
Yeah. Last year, the New York State Senate sank to new lows when it ceased to do work for 6 solid weeks, depriving 20 million New Yorkers of a functional legislature. Though many, including a disengaged public, share responsibility for fostering the vacuum of effective governance in Albany, one elected official has become the poster child of the Capitol's corruption and irresponsible behavior. That person is the current majority leader and state senator from the 33rd District, Pedro Espada, Jr. We're not allowed to because of security. Yeah, we'll do photo op for sure. Pedro Espada Jr. is the reason we're standing here in Mamaroneck, New York. This house is where he really lives. Hey. And as you can tell, we're nowhere near the 33rd District. Holler if you think that is messed up. So let's review the facts of what happened last year and Mr. Espada's very impressive list of accomplishments. The anniversary of the state Senate coup is next Tuesday, June 8th. Exactly 1 year ago on Tuesday, Mr. Espada and his co-conspirator, Mr. Montserrat, decided to support Republican control of the state Senate in a so-called parliamentary coup. Next page. A week later, Mr. Montserrat switched his support back to the Democrats, but Espada stuck with the Republicans for a 31-31 split in the state Senate. For 4 more weeks, he held the Democratic caucus, the state Senate, and ultimately the state of New York, and all of us hostage. Leading to gridlock that was unparalleled even by Albany's notoriously dysfunctional standards. In the end, Pedro blackmailed the Democrats into making him Senate Majority Leader. Astonishingly, they took him back, and Pedro Espada Jr. remains Majority Leader to this day.
Shame!
But that isn't all, folks. That isn't all. Last year's coup is not Espada's only claim to fame. Espada has also racked up more than $60,000 in fines related to campaign finance violations. Espada has repeatedly been accused of funneling money to himself and family members through non-profits specifically created for their enrichment. In April, Attorney General Andrew Cuomo filed suit against Espada for allegedly siphoning $14 million from Soundview Health Clinic for personal expenses, including lavish Vegas vacations and, of course, $20,000 in sushi!
Shame on you! 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 Shame on you!
In planning this event and putting my name and phone number and email address on the flyer, I wanted to share that I got some pretty interesting phone calls and emails from all over New York. One in particular had stuck in my mind, so I thought I'd share that with you guys. I got an angry email from a woman telling me that protesting outside of a politician's home was too, quote-unquote, personal. She unsubscribed from the MYD email list, and I'll probably never see her again. To the woman who wrote that email, who share her sentiment, I'd like to say this, that democracy is deeply personal. Democracy relies on each of us caring enough to pay attention to the workings of our government. It also relies on elected officials representing the interests of the people who elect them. If we, the people of New York, do not hold our elected officials to account, then who will? If we are not willing to demand that elected officials live in the district they represent and remove them from office when they are unfit to serve, who will? So, I was actually working at the New York State Senate on June 8th of last year. I witnessed the coup firsthand and watched as months and years of work to retake the Democratic majority was brought to a screeching halt by two power-hungry, misguided men. I watched as the coup stole time and resources away from a legislative agenda that would have helped New Yorkers get back to work, protect tenants, the environment, and healthcare. Page 3. In those 6 weeks, absolutely nothing was accomplished for any New Yorkers. And we all know, given the dire strait our state faces, it was 6 weeks we could not afford to lose. The coup and Espada's actions are very personal to me. And I believe it's very personal for every single person here today. That's why we're here, and that's why we need to work very hard to get this campaign season to elect those who truly represent the people, both in the 33rd District and in others.
Woo! Yeah! Pedro must go! 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 Pedro must go!
I'm here as a member of the Manhattan Young Democrats.
Yeah!
We are Democrats, but we do not believe that just because someone has a D next to their name that they deserve our unwavering support.
Yeah!
No Dino!
NYD has spent the last year educating our membership and the youth of New York City about the importance of the state legislature, raising awareness about last year's coup and the erosion of our democracy. We know that a whole host of issues that we care about, from women's empowerment to affordable housing, to campaign finance reform to transportation funding, are affected by the quality of leadership in Albany. We recognize that the Pedros of the world often prevent more upstanding elected officials from doing their job.
Pedro, it's time to go! 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 Pedro, it's time to go!
He's really tired. Right. Just a little bit more, guys. Okay. In a few minutes, we're going to be making our way down Mamaroneck Avenue to Columbus Park in the center of town to enjoy some non-taxpayer-funded sushi. Like At the park, we'll be handing out sign-up forms for you to host your own house party to celebrate the month of June, which NYD is officially designating State Senate Coup Anniversary Month. If you sign up to host a party, NYD or one of our co-sponsors will send a person to talk about the coup, the state of Albany, and the need for reform with your guests. Please sign up to host a house party and help us get the message out. We need to educate our fellow New Yorkers about why the state legislature matters. We need to make our democracy personal again, and the first step is waking people up by telling the story about just how undemocratic, corrupt, and dysfunctional Albany is today. As for today's party, I want to thank you all so much for coming. Now I'd like to invite up some of Espada's very own constituents